Hello students, here I'm going to explain the automated storage system program. Uh, First of all, I'd like to declare the inputs and outputs. So here there are six inputs. There are six inputs called start, home, position, or we can call it as just home. Then there are four limit switches are there: L1, L2, L3, and L4. L1 is placed at the y-axis. Okay, so we can call it as M1 is used for x-axis. So I can see that this is x-axis, and M2 is used for y-axis. M2 is used for y-axis. So like that, L1 and L2 is used for y-axis because up and down, and L3 and L4 limit switches are used to control the movement in x-axis. Okay, because left and right. So now, so address also given. L1 is given to x1, L2 is given to L2, L3 is given to x3, L4 is given to x4, and y0 is given to motor 1 left. That means one DC motor is there, but it can rotate in clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. So there is an interfacing circuit is there, then direction changing circuit is there. So that is we have completed in the interfacing module, right? So that means by giving the signal y0, motor rotates in one direction, and if y1 is on, in reverse direction. So we given to M1 left and M1 right. So like that, in y-axis also one DC motor is there, that is having two directions, so up and down. So if y3 is on upward direction, y2 is on downward direction. So with this introduction, see what is our requirement is, by pressing home button, the system should come to home position. So what do you mean by home position? I am assuming that uh, y-axis should be at the down. Okay, that means L2 limit should be on. Okay, and I assume leftmost position of the x-axis I'm assuming as home position. That means M1 motor left, that means y0 should be on, so that M1 motor will go to the left, and then L3 L3 limit switch sensor, it's a sensor, should be on. So when L2 down and L3 left both are on, means it is called home position. See, in x-axis it is a leftmost position, in y-axis downward position, then we call it as a home position. That means before start of the process it should be in home position. If it is not, by pressing home button, PLC should give a signal for moving leftward as well as downward, so that it will come to home position. Then only process should start by pressing the start button. Okay, so this please understand. So if you go to the program, there is a home switch that is given to x0. By operating this, what should happen? Cylinder should move leftward and cylinder should move downward. See here, I have taken one dummy variable called m0. When x0 is on, m0 is on. Okay, when m0 is on, it is going to give a set signal for m1 left and m2 down. So when these two should be off. See, when you give a command to y0 and y2, it starts moving leftward, it starts moving downward continuously. So these two should be off when it reaches home position. How can we say home position? It is this one, this line. When left position limit switch and down position limit switch both are on, that means it has reached the home position. I've taken one more dummy variable called m2. When m2 is on, it indicates that it has reached successfully home position. So what is our requirement? we should stop rotating the motor. So when M2 is on, immediately I'll give a command. When M2 is on, I'll give a command to reset M0. What do you mean by reset M0? M0 is nothing but M0 was on with a signal of X0. That is home position. Okay, so even if you press continuously home position, so whenever M2 is on, it is going to reset the M0. That means if M0 is continuously reset, that means motor cannot move left direction and motor cannot move in downward direction. That means both are off. It should stop rotating. Once it has reached home position, it will stop rotating. So this is what the home position switch significance. Okay, assume that it has reached successfully home position, and now you have to operate the start button. Start button I have given X6. X6 is the start button. Okay, so M2 on means home position. If home position is there plus start button is operated, then signal go to the M3. Signal go to the M3. M3 is again dummy variable. See, whichever the variable I have not mentioned here, it is all others are internal memory bits, or it's also called dummy variable, which is not having any significance in physical world. It's only inside the PLC to process the data. Okay, so M3 is on means what is our requirement? If M3 is on, then storage system should start, right? So whatever home position is there, I will consider is a first position. So here in storage system we have taken 4 positions. One is the leftmost down position, and rightmost down position, second slot, and upward leftmost, upward rightmost. So there are 4 slots are there. So whenever M3 is on, what is our requirement? Solenoid should be on, because that I am assuming home position itself is the first slot. So whenever M3 is on, solenoid should be on. So when solenoid should be off? When solenoid should be off? I will use a timer. I am assuming that 4 seconds, 40 means 4 seconds. So 4 seconds, after 4 seconds, solenoid should be off. See, solenoid is on means cylinder is extended. If solenoid is off means cylinder is retracted. After placing the component in the storage slot, so after 4 seconds, cylinder should come back. That means solenoid should be off, right? Uh, so what I'll do is, I'm going to see here after T1. See, T1 is here. So after 4 seconds, I'll break the circuit so that M3 will off. Whenever M3 is off, solenoid is going off, because solenoid depends on M3. So I'm using the falling edge here. I know that solenoid is on and off. So whenever solenoid is off, that means the placement of the part in the slot number 1 is completed. So I'm using the falling edge. Whenever solenoid is on and off, so what I'll do is I'll give a movement for the right direction. So Y1, what do you mean by Y1 here? Y1 is nothing but M1 motor in right direction, because it has placed successfully the first slot, so it has to move to the x-axis right direction. At the end there is a second slot is there, so it is moving continuously. When rightward movement direction should be stopped, that means limit switch. When L4 right limit switch is on, it should be stopped, right? So we'll go to the L4. We'll go to L4, 1 minute. X4, I have to find X4. x4 we have to find. 1 minute. Okay, I have taken x5 here, so that I have to update here. It is x5. Okay, yeah. So right, that is x5. When x5 is on, y1 is going to reset. That means the motor stops rotating. Okay, so when it reaches the rightmost position in x direction, again it has to extend. Cylinder should extend. So I'll come to see. Solenoid depends on M3. Solenoid depends on M3. Right? Solenoid depends on M3. So whenever it has reached the rightmost position, again we are going to switch on M3 with the help of M6 dummy variable or M6 internal memory. So again, whenever M3 is on, solenoid will extend it. Again, solenoid will be off. So whenever solenoid is on and off again, that means I am using the falling edge signal here. Again, it gives a signal for M6. Sorry. Again, it is going to switch on the. Is that? Now it has to move upward. Upward means what? Upward means Y3. That is, yeah. So whenever it reaches the right position, I am given the command for Y3 on. After time is elapsed, I will give the Y3. Again it moves in upward direction. Again it will place it. Again it is, cycle is repeated. Look at here. See, solenoid, it will take 4 seconds of time. T1, see here, whenever it has reached the right position, see this is the command. Whenever it reaches the x-axis rightmost position plus timer is on, that means solenoid is completed, extended and retracted, and then it gives a command for the y3 is nothing but upward direction. So when it reaches the limit switch x1, that means L1, again the M3 will be on. M3. So this cycle is repeated. M3 is on. So like this, sequence will happen in all 4 slots. If any question is there, you can contact me in WhatsApp and just explain more. This project is automated storage system controlled by PLC. This is a setup. It can store 4 components in 2 rows. There are 2 motors, motor 1 and motor 2. Motor 1 for X direction, motor 2 for Y direction. Z direction, there is a cylinder, and that is going to push the component in the right slot. And this is an interface box between the storage system and the PLC, because motor operating voltage is 12 volts and PLC operating voltage is 24 volts. So this interface module supplies power to the motor, because this module is having inbuilt 12 volt supply, and it is having limit switches also. Limit switches, For easy connection, this interface module will help. So now we are going to operate the start button. Right now this is the home position of the automated storage system. If you press start, then this is the first position. This is the first position. Speed of the cylinder we have to adjust it. Now it is going to the second position, horizontal direction. So I will reduce the speed here. This is a PLC program. PLC program is developed in the WPL software. We have used the low speed motor, that is why it is taking more time. So this is the second position. This is the limit switch in the second position. Now it is going to the third position. इसको वही तक ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಬಿಡ್ತು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. This is the last position. So after the last position, it is going to stop. So we have to operate the home position button, then only it will come to home position, so that we can start one more cycle. So this completes the automated storage system. So again, if you want to start the second cycle, so first it has to come to home position. So we have to press home position, then it will come down.